Happy New Year and welcome to my channel. I hope this year brings you prosperity and clarity. Today we are going to talk about something incredibly important for our shared future. It's a concept that affects your job, your family, and your financial security. We are talking about the K-shaped economy. You may have heard this term before, but what does it truly mean? Simply put, it describes a situation where the economy splits into two diverging paths. One path goes up, representing the wealthy, certain professionals, and large corporations who are seeing their fortunes grow. The other path slopes downward, representing the middle and working classes who are falling behind, facing job insecurity and shrinking opportunities. This is not just a temporary dip, it is a fundamental shift in how our economy works. The stakes of this growing divide could not be higher. What we are witnessing is the slow, steady erosion of the American middle class. This group has long been the bedrock of our society and our economy. Their stability fueled consumption, innovation, the American dream itself. Now, that dream is becoming harder to reach for millions. This economic pressure has a profound and often overlooked consequence: falling birth rates. When families feel insecure about their future, when they cannot afford a home, when they cannot afford quality child care, they decide to have fewer children or none at all. This demographic shift will have long-lasting effects, creating a feedback loop of economic strain. In this video, we will explore why this trend is happening now and why it's set to get significantly worse in 2026. This isn't just speculation. It's based on clear economic indicators and structural changes already in motion. We will unpack how we arrived at this critical point. To understand our present, we must look to the past. We will examine historical precedents, feudalism, great revolutions. History gives lessons about what happens when societies become unbalanced and when pathways to prosperity are blocked for most people. But this video is not just an alarm, it's about finding a way forward. We will discuss potential solutions to rebuild the middle class and restore shared prosperity. These solutions can work within a capitalist framework. We don't need to tear down the system to fix its problems. Instead, we can pursue smart, targeted reforms that have worked before and can work again. The future is not yet written. By understanding the challenges, we can choose a better path for 2026 and beyond. Table of Contents, Part 2, Act 1. What is the K-shaped economy? 1. The Great Divergence. 2. Winners and losers in the new economy. 3. The accelerant of crisis. 4. A structural shift, not a cycle. Section 1, the Great Divergence. The term K-shaped economy is a powerful metaphor for our times. Imagine the letter K. After a point of crisis, like the 2020 pandemic, the economy doesn't recover evenly for everyone. Instead, it splits. The top arm of the K shoots upwards, representing a segment of the population whose financial situation improves dramatically. Their wealth grows, their job prospects are bright, and their investments yield high returns. This is the story of the fortunate few. Conversely, the bottom arm of the K slopes downwards. This represents a much larger group of people who find themselves struggling more than ever before. Their wages stagnate, their jobs become precarious, and their ability to save for the future diminishes. This is the great divergence we see today. The upward path is often populated by those in high-skilled, knowledge-based industries. Think of software engineers, financial analysts, and corporate executives. They are the owners of capital, whether through stock portfolios, real estate, or business ownership. On the other side of the K, we find the majority of the workforce. This includes service workers in hospitality and retail, factory workers in manufacturing, and many small business owners. Their wages have not kept pace with the rising costs of living, especially for essentials like housing, healthcare, and education. We're no longer all in the same boat. Instead, some are sailing on luxury yachts while others are in leaking dinghies, drifting further and further apart on a turbulent sea. While the forces creating the K-shaped economy were building for decades, the COVID-19 pandemic acted as a powerful accelerant. For those on the upper arm of the K, the pandemic was, in many ways, an economic opportunity. Massive government stimulus and central bank interventions pumped trillions into financial markets, causing stocks to surge. This period was a stark contrast for those on the lower arm. Service workers faced an impossible choice: risk their health by going to work or lose their income. Hospitality, travel, and live entertainment were decimated almost overnight. The pandemic also laid bare the digital divide, another key driver of the K-shaped split. access to reliable, high-speed internet and digital skills became essential. It is crucial to understand that the K-shaped economy is not just a temporary, cyclical phenomenon. What we are witnessing is a deep structural transformation of our economy. One of the primary structural drivers is technology and automation. The rise of artificial intelligence, robotics, and sophisticated software is automating many routine tasks that once provided stable middle-class jobs. This creates a hollowing out of the middle of the labor market, pushing workers towards high-paying cognitive jobs or low-paying manual service jobs, with very little in between. Globalization is another powerful structural force. For decades, companies moved manufacturing and some service jobs to countries with lower labor costs. Finally, the decline of worker power is a critical structural element. Union membership has declined, and labor laws have been weakened. That has diminished workers' ability to bargain collectively for better wages, benefits, and working conditions. Before we can understand its decline, we must first define what the middle class even is. It's the belief that with hard work, you can secure a stable job, own a comfortable home, and retire with dignity. This dream is now under severe threat. The cost of the key pillars of a middle-class life has soared far beyond wage growth. Housing prices have become astronomical. The cost of a college education has created a generation burdened by crippling student debt. This relentless pressure on household budgets is what we mean by the squeezed middle. Even families with what seems like a decent income find themselves running in place. This persistent financial anxiety changes how people think about their future and major life decisions. The decision to have children is deeply intertwined with economic realities. The immense cost and responsibility of raising a child can seem like an insurmountable barrier. The United States Department of Agriculture estimates that it costs over $300,000 to raise a child to age 18. The biggest single expense is childcare, which in many states now costs more than public university tuition. When faced with these numbers, a growing number of young people are making a rational economic choice. They are concluding that they simply cannot afford to have children. The decline in birth rates is not just a private, personal matter. It creates a powerful and dangerous feedback loop for society as a whole. Fewer births today mean a smaller workforce tomorrow. This leads to an aging population where a shrinking group of young working age people is tasked with supporting a growing number of retirees. This demographic imbalance places immense strain on a country's public finances. An aging society also tends to be less dynamic and innovative. This can lead to slower overall economic growth. The American situation has a unique and troubling twist. We're converging with Europe's demographic patterns. To truly understand the danger of our current K-shaped trajectory, we must look back in time. One of the most striking parallels to our growing inequality can be found in the feudal system of medieval Europe. At the top was a small aristocracy of lords and nobles who owned nearly all the land. While we do not have legal titles of nobility, we are seeing the emergence of a new aristocracy. This is an aristocracy of wealth, not of land. The children of the wealthy are given every advantage. Elite education, powerful networks, financial backing that all but guarantees their place on the upper arm of the K. We are moving towards a system where, like in feudal times, one's economic destiny is increasingly determined by the family into which one is born, not by one's individual merit or effort. History teaches a stark lesson about what happens when inequality becomes too extreme. The great revolutions of the 18th and 19th centuries were not random events. The French Revolution, for example, was ignited by a society divided into 3 estates. They bore the entire tax burden while being completely shut out of political power. Similarly, the Russian Revolution of 1917 occurred against a deeply unequal, quasi-feudal society ruled by an autocratic czar. The lesson is clear. When ruling elites take too much and leave too little, they risk losing everything in a tide of popular fury. Yet, history also offers examples of a more hopeful path, the path of peaceful reform. And these were pragmatic choices made to preserve the overall system by making it fairer and more inclusive. Another key area of reform was investment in public education. By providing free, high-quality education to all children, society created a powerful engine of upward mobility. Finally, the 20th century saw the creation of social safety nets. They reduced economic insecurity and gave working families a greater share of economic prosperity. These reforms did not abolish capitalism, they civilized it. They demonstrated that it is possible to have a dynamic market economy that also provides a basic level of security and dignity for all its citizens. Section 1, the automation wave crests. The year 2026 is not some arbitrary date. It represents a near-term horizon where several powerful trends are set to converge and intensify. The AI and automation of today aren't just simple machines, they are sophisticated systems capable of performing complex analytical, administrative, and customer service tasks. By 2026, this technology's deployment will be widespread. Bookkeepers, paralegals, loan officers, these are middle-skill white-collar jobs that historically offered a pathway to middle-class life. This technological displacement will pour gasoline on the fire of the K-shaped economy. The owners of AI tech will see incomes and wealth skyrocket. Meanwhile, millions whose skills are redundant will be pushed onto the downward slope. While automation threatens the income side, another set of forces is relentlessly attacking the expense side. The costs of housing, healthcare, and education are projected to continue their steep climb. As the middle class weakens, so does the tax base of the nation. This sets the stage for a major fiscal crisis that is likely to come to a head around 2026. As wealth becomes highly concentrated at the top, so too does political power. By 2026, this dynamic is poised to become even more entrenched, leading to a state of political paralysis. This inaction is not an accident. It is the intended result of a system dominated by moneyed interests, effectively giving the upper arm of the K a veto power over any policy that threatens its interests. When economic pain, political paralysis, and a sense of hopelessness converge, a society approaches a tipping point. One of the first signs of this breakdown is the rise of deaths of despair. Another tipping point involves the erosion of public trust. This fuels the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories, making it impossible to have a shared, fact-based conversation. Finally, we face the risk of rising social unrest. When people feel they have nothing left to lose, some will inevitably turn to more desperate measures. By 2026, we could find ourselves in a much uglier, more divided, and more dangerous society, where the American dream has been replaced by a daily struggle for survival in a fractured nation. We have journeyed through a landscape of stark division, but the story does not have to end here. History also illuminates a better way forward, the path of pragmatic reform, an acknowledgement that a market economy, to be sustainable, must serve society as a whole. And this brings us to the crucial question of what we can do now. The solutions are within our grasp, and they do not require us to abandon the principles of a capitalist market-based system. We can implement a more progressive tax system. We can strengthen the social safety net. We must embark on a massive national effort in targeted education and job retraining. Rebuilding the power of labor is essential. Furthermore, we must directly tackle the affordability crisis. This means bold policies to increase the supply of affordable housing and create incentives for American young couples to have children. The choices we make today will determine whether 2026 arrives as a tipping point into chaos or as the beginning of a renewed and more inclusive American dream. Let us choose hope. Let us choose action. Prepare for the AI elimination of jobs. It's going to get ugly.